Welcome, Bearcats and parents. Today we want to look at factors, multiples, prime and composite numbers, and numbers that fall in categories that are neither. So first of all, when we talk about factors are the numbers that we multiply together to get a product. So if my product is 8, what are some numbers I can multiply together to get 8? First of all, I can multiply 1 times 8 to get 8, or 2 times 4 to get 8. These are all factors of 8. How many factors does 8 have? 1, 2, 3, 4. It has 4 factors. Numbers that we multiply together to get a product are called the factors. Once we know how many factors a number has, we can classify that number as a prime number or a composite number. A prime number is a number that has only 2 factors. And the factors that it has is 1 and the number itself. So an example of a prime number, or the very first prime number, is 2. The only numbers I can multiply the entire world to get 2 is 1 times 2. 2 only has 2 factors, 1 and itself. The same with 3. 1 times 3 is the only thing in the world that will give me 3. Also, numbers like 17. 1 times 17. Those are the only 2 factors that I can find for 17. The only 2 numbers I can multiply in the world to get 17 is 1 times 17, or 1 times 2 to get 2, or 1 times 3 to get 3. So these are all prime numbers. When we find a number that has more than 2 factors, that number is called composite. Composite numbers have more than 2 factors. So if we go back and look at our initial example of 8, we said that 8 had 4 factors. So because it has 4 factors, it will be labeled as a composite number. So many of the numbers that we deal with on a daily basis are composite. Another example would be 10. 1 times 10 would give me 10. 2 times 5 would give me 10. It has more than 2 factors. It has 4 factors. What about 9? How many factors does it have? 1 times 9 and 3 times 3. The factors are 1, 3, and 9. It has 3 factors. So it is also composite because it has more than 2 factors. There are some numbers that are classified and they don't fall in the prime or composite category, and those numbers are 0 and 1. The only number I can multiply in the world to get 1 is 1 times 1. So 1 only has 1 factor. And to be composite, you have to have more than 2. It only has 1. And to be prime, you have to have only 2. It still just has 1. So 0 and 1 are neither prime or composite. So we're going to take this information and we're going to use it to help us with our homework for today. Today we're going to be working on factor towers. So during this assignment, we're going to be writing down all the factors of the numbers at the top of the tower and then counting up how many factors each number has. So 14, I know I can multiply 1 and 14 to get 14, as well as 2 and 7. And then I'll count up the factors, 1, 2, 3, 4. It has 4 factors. So 14 would be a composite number. How about 23? 23 has a short tower. So based on that, I can tell it's prime. It only has 1 and itself, 23, which is 2 factors. Prime numbers only have 2 factors. Composite tower, prime tower. So we know that 1 is also going to be what? Right. It's going to be prime. It has a short tower. So let's jump into some of these more difficult, taller towers, like 24. Numbers I can multiply get 24. 1 and 24. 2 and 12. 3 and 8, 4 and 6. How many factors does this have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It has 8 factors, so there is no doubt that this is a composite number. 24 has 8 factors, more than 2. And 60. That's a tall tower. What are the factors of 60? 1 and 60, 2 and 30, 3 and 20, 4 and 15, 5 and 12, and 6 and 10. How many factors are in this tall tower? 12. 60 has 12 factors. I hope that this has been interesting, and I hope that it has also been helpful for you. And remember, good luck.